to start this discussion, and at the completion of this lesson, students will be able to define soil degradation, identify the many causes and effects of soil degradation, propose numerous solutions to soil degradation. Is soil degradation? Soil degradation is a decline in soil condition caused by its improper use of poor management, usually for agricultural, industrial, or urban purposes. It is a serious environmental problem. Soils are a fundamental natural resource and are the basis for all terrestrial life. Avoiding soil degradation is crucial to our well-being. These are the examples of soil degradation. Number 1, water erosion. So what is water erosion? Water erosion is the detachment and removal of soil material by water. The process may be natural or accelerated by human activity. The rate of erosion may be very slow to very rapid, depending on the soil, the local landscapes, and weather conditions. Water erosion wears away the earth's surface. So why is it that there is water erosion? It is because kay tungod sang ulan nga mabaskog and landslide, kag tungod sa pag-usmod sang duta, and sa pagtunaw sang ice or snow, kag tungod sa irigasyon nga nagathreaten sang produkto sang aton nga agriculture, kag sa produkto sang aton nga forest, kag makakos man gid ina sa aton nga kadutaan sang pollution nga ginatawag. So let's proceed to wind erosion. So what is wind erosion? So wind erosion is a natural process of transportation and deposition of soil in the wind. So it is also a common phenomenon, mostly in dry and sandy soils. So why is it that there is a wind erosion? So it is tungod sang kabaskog sang hangin nga naga-blow or nagahuyot sang high over texture soils, kag it is during periods of drought. Meaning sang drought is tagtuyot, wala gid siya ulan. Salinity. What is salinity? It is the saltness or amount of soil dissolves in a body of water. It is called saline water. So when we say salinity, kay tungod ina siya sang soil or lupa nga nagadevelop siya into salinity or saline water. So halin siya sa pag-interact sang groundwater. So if groundwater rises within 2 meters from the soil surface, and ang tubig nga magasaka is makadala siya sang taba nga tubig kag magkadto ina siya sa root zones ang inyo nga mga tanom. So basically, hasta nga mag-evaporate ang tubig sa soil surface, ang taba nga tubig naman or tawag naton nga saline water is magapabilin siya sa roots sang inyong mga tanom. So let's proceed to loss of organic matter. So what is loss of organic matter? Occurs because of erosion, wash away topsoils and humus. So overall, cropping returns less organic matter to the soil than does native vegetation. So roots are a great distributor to soil organic matter. Grassland produces deep roots and decay deep in the soil. So ang grassland kuno is nagaproduce sang deep roots, so that ang deep roots nga ina is maga-decay or magadunot, and then it goes magahimo na siya sa maga-form na siya sang ginatawag nga humus. So let's proceed to fertility decline. So what is fertility decline? Fertility decline occurs when the quantities of nutrients removed from the soil in harvested being applied. So nagakatabon ni siya tungod sa sitwasyon sa nutrients, which is nutrient requirements sa patubas or crop nga nagmet halin sa soil reserves. So meaning sang soil reserves is gireserba nga duta nga may ara naman na siya kompleto naman na siya guro. So basically, hasta nga ang gireserve nga duta hindi na makamit sa crop demands. Acidity or alkalinity structures. So, what is soil acidity or alkalinity structures? It is a condition in which the soil pH is lower than a neutral pH or less than 7. So, soil pH is a measure of the hydrogen or H+ or ion concentration, expressed as the negative common logarithm of H plus, which means hydrogen and ion concentration. So nga, may ara nga soil acidity. So, tungod sa rainwater, leaching away basic ions, which is calcium, magnesium, potassium, and sodium. So, when carbon dioxide from decomposing organic roots, ang roots respiration dissolving in soil water to form a weak organic acid, and formation of strong organic and inorganic acid such as nitrics. So let's proceed to structure decline. So what is structure decline? Okay. Structure decline, no, is parehas lang na sila sa fertility decline. So let's move to mass movement and soil contamination. So, what is mass movement? Mass movement, it is a movement of rock or soil down slopes under the forces of gravity. So, you know already what is mass movement, ano? So, let's proceed to soil contamination. So, what is soil contamination? Soil contamination, or other term of land pollution, as a part of land degradation, is caused by the presence of cyanobiotic chemicals or other term of the natural soil environment. So typically caused by industrial activity, agricultural chemicals, is improper disposal of waste. So let's proceed to cause of soil degradation.
Process of soil degradation. First is overgrazing. It is a grazing by livestock or wildlife to the point where the grass cover is depleted, leaving bare, unprotected patches of soil. As a result, water and wind cause erosion, especially on day soils, and the growth of poisonous plants and thorny shrubs may increase. Second, deforestation. It is a clearing or thinning of forest by humans. Deforestation represents one of the largest issues in global land use. Estimates of deforestation traditionally are based on the area of forest cleared for human use, including removal of the trees for wood products and for croplands and grazing lands. In the practice of clear-cutting, all the trees are removed from the land, which completely destroys the forest. Third is overexploitation for fuel wood. It is an unsustainable use of natural resources, and overexploitation which occurs when harvesting exceeds the production of wild plants and animal species continues to be a major threat to biodiversity. Fourth, agricultural activity. It means farming activities including plowing, tillage, cropping, installation of best management practices, seeding, cultivating, and harvesting for production of food and fiber products, except commercial logging and timber harvesting operations, the grazing and raising of livestock, aquaculture. Fifth, increased flooding. It is a rising and overflowing of a body of water, especially onto normally dry land. And last is industrialization. It is the process by which an economy is transformed from a primarily agricultural one-to-one based on the manufacturing of goods.
Effects of soil degradation to humanity and nature. First, as land is degraded and in some places deserts expand, food production is reduced, water sources dry up, and populations are pressured to move to more hospitable areas. Second, reduces the ability of soil to store water and support plant growth, thereby reducing its ability to support biodiversity. Third, increased pollution and sedimentation in streams and rivers, clogging these waterways and causing decline in fish and other species. Fourth, lack of food, because the majority of human food comes from cropland. Fifth, increases the amount of dust carried by wind, which not only acts as an abrasive and air pollutant, but also carries about 20 human infectious disease organisms, including anthrax and tuberculosis. Next, decline in soil health, biodiversity, and productivity, leading to issues at all levels of many ecosystems and resulting in large environmental consequences such as floods and mass migration. Lastly, critical losses of water, nutrients, soil, organic matter, and soil biota, harming forests, rangeland, and natural ecosystems.
Interventions. According to FAO Director General Jose Graciano da Silva, further loss of productive soils would severely damage food production and food security, amplify food price volatility, and potentially plunge millions of people into hunger and poverty. It is imperative that we take action now to protect and renew soils to ensure a more food secure future. According to FAO, we must take action to protect and renew our soils through bringing back trees and that could give us food production. Sustainable forest management efforts and reforestation schemes are key to combating soil degradation. Soil Science Society of America or SSA, founded in 1936 and based in Madison, Wisconsin, SSA is made up of thousands of members and certified professionals who are dedicated to advancing the soil science field. SSA provides information about soil topics such as ecosystem sustainability, waste management, and wise land use. The society is also part of the Alliance of Crop Soil and Environmental Science Societies. The SSA is a progressive international scientific society that fosters the transfer of knowledge and practices to sustain global soils. Soil degradation is a growing problem throughout the world and an important topic for our times as it affects the food we eat every day. In fact, in August, the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy or OSTP announced a nationwide call to action to address soil degradation and erosion. This is part of the White House's nationwide effort that is similar to other initiatives from around the world to improve the health of soil, a resource of utmost importance for producing enough food and fuel to feed the entire global population. The OSTP is trying to control and reduce soil degradation. This office is giving and raising an awareness of the issue and is encouraging innovative approaches in land management techniques. The organization that involves soil degradation is Department of Agriculture, Department of Environment and Natural Resources or DENR and FAO to solve of soil degradation in the Philippines. We can reach out to the Department of Agriculture, Department of Environment and Natural Resources and FAO for further knowledge on how to solve soil degradation. ReCare aims to prevent and remediate soil degradation in Europe through better land care. ReCare noticed a depth of knowledge on soil threats in Europe, particularly regarding the functioning and complexity of soil systems and how they are affected by human activities. They use 17 case studies covering a range of soil threats in different socio-economic and biophysical environments across Europe to integrate and advance the knowledge of stakeholders and scientists. ReCare is an organization to assess current threats to soils and develop innovative solutions to prevent further soil degradation across Europe. Their aims is to develop effective prevention, remediation, and restoration measures using an innovative transdisciplinary approach, actively integrating and advancing knowledge of stakeholders and scientists in 17 case studies covering a range of soil threats in different biophysical and socio-economic environments across Europe. Mitigation is an invention intended to reduce ongoing degradation. This comes in a stage when degradation has already begun. Mitigation impacts tends to noticeable in short to medium term. This then provides a strong incentive for further efforts. The word mitigation is also sometimes used to describe the reductions of impacts of degradation. The main aim of mitigation is to halt further degradations and to start improving resources and their functions. Recommendation: by doing afforestation by planting trees, control proper management overgrazing, control on mining activities, to plan for proper management of wastelands. Before doing this, we need to let others know because some of them they just needed an educator to testify and to rule and educates this kind of plan to solve the soil degradation. We need to oblige our motherland because after all, we humans can be a beneficiary of what we did to preserve our land. Many practices can be changed to prevent and in some cases reverse soil degradation. These include simple acts such as leaving vegetation on soil to allow nutrients to return into the earth. Communities, farmers, corporations can be educated about sustainable practices to promote respect and responsibility for nature and reduce their carbon footprint. Education can also encourage individuals to grow their own produce, which can foster a curiosity and appreciation for nature, as well as motivate to protect the planet. It also alleviates some of the pressure experienced by farms to support an ever-growing population. In short, there are many strategies to manage the soil degradation process by ground covers, alternate fuels, timber replantation, dams, and by making the policies. Furthermore, organic agriculture may be an alternative to save our land or soil from degradation. We can manage by conservation, tillage, and integrated soil fertility management strategies.
Soil degradation is a natural or human-induced process affecting more than 75% of the world's land. It refers to the decline of the entire ecosystem's ability to avoid goods, services. Soil degradation is a form of land degradation that refers to loss of soil quality and productivity. It can occur as a natural process caused by the inherent characteristic of the soil, climate, and topography. Human-induced degradation develops more rapidly than natural degradation and can be reduced or avoided by regulating human interventions such as deforestation, overgrazing, and mismanagement of agricultural land. The causes of soil degradation that are driven include overgrazing, shifting cultivation, and monocropping, and the use of agrochemicals, while deforestation can present either as a natural human-driven loss of trees. To present soil degradation processes that lead to the deterioration of soil chemical, physical, and biological properties. It is necessary to monitor and assist soil degradation process using appropriate methods, expert-based remote sensing over modeling. Identification of the degradation type is important to define all based remote sensing or modeling. Identification of the degradation type is important to define all consequences and thus the expected cause of soil degradation mitigation measures. It is important to be aware that several degradation processes could occur simultaneously, or one type of process could directly cause the occurrence of another. The occurrence of the deforestation could lead to soil erosion and ultimately cause an increased risk of flood. The spatial extent, degree, and rate of degradation type should be a base for the decision-making process regarding the best sustainable land management or SLM practice that should be applied. Some challenges are related to the better monitoring and assessment of soil degradation. And that's our summary of our topic, ma'am. It's all about soil degradation. Thank you.